Good afternoon, folks. This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth, and we have important information to break down for you today. Despite what the corporate state media may imply when it comes to Justin Trudeau and a change in foreign policy, Saudi Arabia is still Canada's ally, and that's all you really need to know. Notorious for their beheadings, persecution of Christians and other religious minorities, a real rape culture towards women, executions of political dissidents, and an abysmal human rights record. Despite sitting on a United Nations Human Rights Board, the Saudis are by far one of the worst countries in the world to live in. And of course, the hypocrisy of trying to topple Assad in Syria, or the murder of Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein when the Saudis get a free pass, is blatant for anyone not indoctrinated into the war propaganda. But it's worse than just being on good terms with the Saudis. Canada actually manufactures weapons and then exports them to the Saudi kingdom. The buyer of these weapons is the Saudi Arabian National Guard, which is the domestic paramilitary police known for silencing the Shia minority. Now, this was business as usual under Stephen Harper, but with Trudeau and the illusion of change, Amnesty International is calling on the Liberal government to be transparent with Canadians and explain how this arms deal doesn't violate basic human rights, that the Saudis won't use these armored vehicles on their own people. And what was the Liberal government's response to this? This information is confidential. A report on Saudi Arabia has been prepared for 2015 as part of the department's annual process of producing human rights reports on numerous countries. This document is intended for internal government of Canada use only, and as such will not be made public, said Francois Lassalle, a spokesman for Global Affairs Canada. Trudeau brushed off all concerns, calling the armored LAVs, these light armored vehicles, jeeps. But the reality is that these LAVs are equipped with medium caliber weapons and big barrel guns capable of firing anti-tank missiles. Ottawa, under Trudeau, just as it was with Harper, is not going to attempt to justify this export of arms to Saudi Arabia. Alex Nevy, Amnesty International's Secretary General for Canada, said Ottawa's silence is troubling. We're not looking for access to commercially sensitive information here. We want a human rights assessment. What is the likelihood these weapons might directly or indirectly be used in a way that contributes to human rights violations? Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister said that Canada won't cancel the LAV's deal since it would hurt Canada's reputation and put 3,000 jobs at risk. Hardly a valid excuse, especially after the Liberals, while in opposition, routinely chastised the Harper government for dealing with the Saudis. But so is the nature of power. It's all about money and control, and there are other factors at play here, such as bigger interests that trump what the voters may value. It's the same old game played over and over again. It doesn't matter what color the government of the day is. Financial interests dictate government policy. For example, the Canadian government has had a large role in selling depleted uranium worldwide, which, according to Health Canada, is considered a conventional weapon. Depleted uranium weapons are regarded as conventional weapons, and as such were widely used in the 1990 Gulf War, 290 tons, the 1994-95 in Bosnia, and 99 in Kosovo, about 10 tons. The Canadian forces have recently replaced depleted uranium rounds in its naval close-in weapon system with tungsten rounds. So the idea that Canada is a peacekeeping nation and a force for good would be laughable if it wasn't for all the death and the chaos that's been committed in our name, using our tax dollars. Maybe this recent about-face by the Liberals in regards to selling arms to Saudi Arabia is going to shake up the masses and the anti-war left out of their slumber. But I wouldn't hold my breath. The opinions held by the masses can be changed and manipulated through steady propaganda. by year's end, we'll have liberal supporters making excuses for the abysmal Saudi Arabian human rights records while successfully fear-mongering about ISIS in ways that the Harper government could have only dreamed of. And of course, as can be expected, the liberals are still going to be seen as being soft on terrorism, and therefore evoking even more hawkish and warmongering stances from the Conservative Party, and thus the left-right paradigm reinforces the downward spiral of war and debt and chaos and propaganda. But not if we do everything we can to stop it, folks. So give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and families so that we can get this info out there. And as always, be sure to check the links in the description to all the sources for this video so you can fact check this information for yourself. And if you want to support our efforts here at Press for Truth, you can donate or you can become a PFT member or a PFT patron. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon to pressfortruth.ca.